Morning all, so this is Repton, just on the outskirts of Repton. Just thought I'd photograph this. Probably say Shakespeare's a white supremacist in the future, so this is looking down into the village. You see the church spire at the top. First pub, the Bull's Head. Got quite a strange design on that mural. And this is Mercia Court, just a block of flats really. But obviously Repton was the capital of Mercia at one point. But Tamworth also lays claim to that in Staffordshire and is a much better example with the castle. I always find that war memorials, British Legions, always just round the corner is a reality check. So Chinese restaurant, Indian restaurant, and then you've got all the British Legion stuff over here. So they thought for multiculturalism would be a better slogan really. Got the red, white and blue, don't know if it's intentional but has a good effect. That's a good shot with the Union flag. Got a nice angle here, got this Tudor building and then got the church just down there. And it's this Brook House. Yeah, cracking building that is. I think there's actually a garden. Is this the Repton Village Gardens? So drop down and take a knee. Slightly better angle. Nice little addition I got here at the primary school. Obviously the kids are away today, so no risk as such, I hope. Great idea. Yeah, just slightly lower angle. For the Health and Wellbeing Centre. And this is the village cross. Looking all flowery as well. Mercia milk. Just for the record, it's Derbyshire, this is not Staffordshire. Although the West Midlands does normally comment on the Mercian history of the area. Like I said before, it's all about the Anglo-Saxon kingdoms of the past. Repton, historic capital of Mercia. Alright, so this is into the old school grounds.
But if you hit it hard enough, you can tell, because obviously, like the pewter.
Yeah, the meter I got it, I think that cost her about £1,000, and he got it in his forge.
Photographing these gargoyles or demons or whatever they are on the side of this pillar, but then I noticed that them clouds ain't real. It's all the shine left behind by the planes. Don't know if the camera will pick it up, but considering it's meant to be like a big festival, there's a church that you see. I mean, you could end up paying about 30-40 quid just to see a couple of events that aren't even all that. Well, this is a school anyway, well, the school hall, which is a beautiful old building. I mentioned it before, but when I turned up, there's a bee. It was on the concrete, and it kept. It was basically on its back, struggling to get back on its front. And I stayed with it for quite a while, and I moved it onto the grass away from the concrete, and it managed to stabilise itself better. But when I look at all this crap in the sky, bear in mind this will all come down eventually. What do you reckon is causing this massive decline in bees? Do you know what I mean? And there's actually a Black Mirror episode where the bees are replaced by artificial intelligence bees. So, predictive programming and all that. I mean, down here you'd expect to see quite a lot, but there's not. But anyway, away from that, there's a nice angle. I feel a bit like Indiana Jones here. It's like discovering the Holy Grail. That would be amazing if all of these were lit. But most of them are worn out. Yeah, so this is a crypt. There's the stairs that I came down just there. It's a very Saxon looking image. Just down here. To the unfortunate events of a murder, but the language used then. Samuel Marshall Bacon, 21 years old, who unfortunately fell a victim to a barbarous affilin, or is it a fiffin? It's hard to say. On the 4th of February 1786, by murderous hand, my thread of life was broke. Dreadful the hour, and terrible the stroke. Repent, thou wicked spoiler of my youth. Behold me here, confide a parents both. See from thy bloody hand what woes are rife, while cause for vengeance pierce the filthy skies. There's a vegetation in the way now, it's quite hard to read. Vow to muffed fuffer, though thou feet the laws, for God is just and will avenge my death, I guess. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, someone was commenting on my channel a while ago. They've gone quiet now. But they were on about the David Icke theory, you know, like all the reptilians and all that sort of stuff, which I'm well into. Movies like They Live, Anonymous Rex, the dragon symbology you find everywhere. I don't snigger at anyone, considering how advanced technology is now. I don't believe we've created that. I think it's been given to us. You only have to invert the Apple logo, mirror it sideways, and you get an alien's head. But getting to what I was going to say, he was on about a lot of these Muslims and Africans coming here are actually not what we think they are. I'm just thinking now with a crucifix, you know, all these people smashing up Christian stuff. Whether there's a link there, I don't know. And this is St. Wystan. Haven't heard of him before, to be fair. St. Andrew, St. George, obviously they're the ones you mainly hear about. But it looks like a bit of a warrior, nonetheless. And I haven't covered it, but because this defibrillator reminded me about it. I was in the gym the other night and started chatting to this lad, really fit lad he was. But he's telling me about all these heart palpitations he's having at the minute. Just one sec. And well, I said to him, you know, did you take any of the CVs, should we call them? And he said, yeah. And I feel quite guilty for saying it and bringing it up and making someone worry. But it might get people wound up if they realise what's been done. If it has been done, you know, there's nothing saying I'm right. But it just seems a bit odd. Only a week before, I was speaking to another guy, and someone I knew from 20 odd years ago recently died of a heart attack in his mid-50s. Does happen, you know, it's not that uncommon, but there just seems to be a lot of it. One guy's in his 30s, fit and healthy, you know, with heart problems, and someone else I knew is in his mid-50s having a heart attack, and he was extremely fit and healthy as well. So I wonder what might be causing all this. It's quite fitting them in a graveyard talking about it, actually. Down to see the World War II graves, is it? World War II, 1941. Look at that, that's a lovely touch. I think that's a natural touch as well, maybe. All these poppies on the ground, or poppy leaves. Despite what I'll comment on the channel, you know, we're all these guys weren't to know at all what was going to happen. You know, they were completely betrayed by a bunch of scumbag politicians and elitist nonsense. So yeah, Lincolnshire Regiment, Royal Air Force. Oh, Rose is lovely with it. And then the RAF here. Colours on this are really striking with the red rose in the centre there. And down here was the Viking burial ground, and also the original River Trent. The River Trent now is over that way, a good couple hundred metres away, much wider than the original marshy sort of one you find here. So when you cross over that bridge from Wellington to Repton, you know, be forgiven for imagining the Vikings coming rowing down that enormous, impressive river, but in reality they would have pulled up along this sort of area. And a bunch of blonde-haired, blue-eyed Scandinavians, maybe stereotyping a bit, would have gone up against the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Saxons, again stereotyping a bit. Whereas in the west, the Britons, after all the fighting they'd done against the Saxons, would have carried on there. So from one invading army, so the Celts came from the Iberian Peninsula, and if we're to believe modern history, Tyrone was living here peacefully in some high-tech, fast-paced society, and then kicked them out, and then in came the Celts, ruined it all, and then came the Saxons, then came the Vikings, and then finally came the Normans. The chap I was speaking to earlier was saying, I think this is a yew tree. But apparently yew trees were really dry underneath, so people used to sleep underneath them. So there would have been a nice roof over your head. I mean, the perfect on them, like round, like a round hut, so you could easily sleep under here, and obviously with low-lying branches. We've got here, got a lawnmower. So yeah, nice little sleeping area, really. Perfect, isn't it? Nice thatched cottages over there, and the rain's starting to come in now. And here's the Repton school anyway, so I've got it in there. I'm going to knock it on the head. I'm just giving my honest opinion. The reason being, a perfect example here. So to see this one guy, which would be part of all this, tickets £13.50 to £16.50. And then the remainder, each one you have to pay for as well. So I'm not paying bloody 50 quid to see all that, so I'll call it a day. That'll do. Well, an absolute bellend this bloke is as well, Jason Carter. So this, obviously I'm someone that actually fought with the Taliban. Fair enough, we shouldn't have been in their country, but so from performing for thousands in North Korea to teaching music workshops for young Taliban soldiers, Why? Across Repton they've got 1, 2, 3, 4 defibrillators. It's a bit excessive, isn't it? I wonder why. I'm back at the Tudor Lodge, just heading back to where I started, but yeah, 500 years old this building. Ready made to last, weren't they, back in the day? It's a decent angle there, looking back into the village. Well, just final thoughts. I mean, the festival was quite quiet, really. I'm just thinking, and I wonder if it's a combination of obviously what happened a couple of years ago and technology that made areas so much quieter than what it would have been 10 years ago.